Coffee? Baileys. Extremely special planned for each, turning each shrimp into 13 of the most iconic shrimp dishes from around the world, starting with a trip to Japan, and this little guy you'll often find in a cup of ramen. Of course, gotta go for a taste on this thing. This is a dried shrimp. Let's see if this works. Step one, we need to humanely dispatch our shrimp. Thank you for your service. We'll whip out the dehydrator, keeping the shells on, which I hope will provide additional flavor. I want these things completely bone dry, so I'll see you guys in a few days. It's Friday afternoon. I have my little weekend. Go to the beach, cook a steak. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you on Monday. Well, guys, happy Monday. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Let's check on these shrimp. Drying intensifies umami, perfect for building rich layered broths. Kind of crazy, but one dried shrimp equals 5 to 10x the savory punch as one fresh shrimp. You already know I gotta go for a bite. That is the strongest essence of shrimp flavor you could possibly have. It's very intense and kind of like Let's get started on the broth. We'll go in with our dried shrimp. We'll continue with the umami bombs, adding in some kombu, some dried shiitake mushrooms, and some salt. Okay, it's been a few hours. I have to say, the smell of this broth is just intoxicating. It smells so good. We'll finish off with just a little bit of soy sauce, and it should. Let's assemble. By going in with the ramen, pour over that delicious shrimp broth, finishing with some garnishes, a nice soft-boiled soy sauce egg, and some seafood, grilled shrimp, and finally some chili oil. And there it is, beautiful homemade brown shrimp ramen. The only thing left to do is taste. I hope you guys are ready for shrimp.
I love shrimp. I'm starving. Dude, where do you even get these things? They're tiny.
Don't worry, Cal. I got a guy. Sophia, you kind of got to be careful around this guy. Just chill. I got this. What's up, man?
What you want, bro?
You got that stuff I talked to you about?
Got everything you need. I got that white, I got that brown, I got that pink, I got that new stuff from Africa. Only if you can handle it.
How much for the whole thing?
18 pesos. Get out of here. I'm serious. Right.
We have control as well as a very exciting recipe for each type of shrimp. I'll start with the ramen because I want you to specifically taste the broth.
Green seafood mushroom soup. It's really good.
It's such a clean broth with a nice hint of seafood. It's amazing.
I agree. It almost lacks that ramen punch that I'm used to. Now let's move on to the control. You guys eat the shell? I love eating the shell.
Oh my God.
Very fresh.
It's so cute and delicate. The meat is really tender.
I definitely get a strong ocean flavor in the
Nothing too crazy about it. It does have a relatively strong shrimp flavor, not in a bad way, and it is quite tender.
You can choose to raid the caravan, or you can choose to guard it. This is a game where slaying monsters are not the only way to grow stronger. Heck, it's not even the main way.
All right, just to clarify, 5 is average, right?
5 is like average, decent, standard shrimp. I would say this qualifies as that.
I think that's your standard grocery store shrimp.
This next one is extremely special, shipped all the way from Asia. We have Japanese tiger prawns. At an eye-watering $120 per pound, Japanese tiger prawn, or kuruma ebi, is one of the world's most premium. While prawns are technically not shrimp, for today's purposes, we'll use them interchangeably. Like always, we're cooking 2 of these as a control, grilled over charcoal. I've heard these are some of the best tasting shrimp in the world, so hopes are very high. Now for the non-control, we're gonna attempt one of the most impressive dishes I've ever seen. But honestly, it looks extremely difficult, so let's see how this goes. What we're attempting is a special shrimp pasta, and I'll start by cleaning them up like so, removing the vein. What we're left with is a pretty small amount of actual shrimp and a whole bunch of shells. But given the insane quality of these shrimp, trust me, we will not be letting these go to waste. Okay, time to slice these up, and we're going to treat half one way and the other half slightly differently. For these, we're going to go with a really fine chop, essentially just mincing it up completely, almost into a paste. And that right there should be perfect. Now for the other half, we're also going to chop up, only this time we're going to leave it a bit more coarse. So we'll ultimately be left with fine shrimp, as well as coarse, just for a variety of texture. To the raw shrimp, I'll add olive oil, lime zest, lemon juice, some salt, mix, and we'll reserve that in the fridge. Now let's get started on the sauce, which I have to say is a wild one. We'll start by cooking down all the heads and shells with some vegetables, which might sound weird, but what it does is bring out the oils and some insane flavor. Using with the wine and some water. We're on right now with plenty of fresh herbs. This is the base of what will become our sauce. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes. Honestly, it doesn't look pretty, but it smells absolutely unbelievable. Now I'll just remove those bay leaves as well as the rest of the herbs. And now we're actually gonna blend this whole concoction up, heads, shells, and all. And we'll just strain that flavorful liquid out. So I know this is muddy water. I'm telling you, it is absolutely flavor. It's like the most true essence of shrimp flavor possible. We'll ladle in some of the broth. We'll throw in the spaghetti, keeping it moving to prevent sticking. That's required. The goal is that the flavors in that broth will to absorb into the pasta as it cooks, finishing with butter for a luscious texture, and let's plate. More of that sauce, the raw prawn mixture topped with caviar, and just like that, our Japanese tiger prawns are ready to taste.
That's really good.
Very strong seafood flavor, but not fishy.
Insanely rich, but shrimp rich, not like fatty rich.
The lime zest and the fresh shrimp is so good.
Let's move over to the control to actually taste the shrimp itself. I did not know a shrimp could taste that good.
It's such a deep umami flavor.
Buttery and flaky.
I still don't know if it justifies the ridiculous price, but I'm blown away by that shrimp. If it wasn't so expensive, I would have gone 10. Like, that truly blew me away. Next up, we have one of the most premium royal red prawns. The first thing I noticed is this very interesting exterior. It almost looks like it's frozen or frosted, but it has this very rough, almost textured shell. For my research, this gritty exterior is due to their adaptation to deep ocean pressure, as royal reds live 1,200 plus feet below the ocean's surface and are commonly found in the Gulf of Mexico and along the southeastern U.S. coast. With our control royal reds grilled to perfection, let's move on. For the non-control, we are heading all the way to Hong Kong. This is one I have wanted to try, sesame prawn toast. Start by just removing the shells. Take a little slice here. Should be able to just pull out. Save this for Kyle.
Save what for Kyle?
Nothing.
Things I did wrong. Forgot about arrows. Deployed on the wrong side.
We'll add our shrimp to the food processor, followed by garlic, ginger, a little bit of white pepper, soy sauce, with an egg white, and finally some green onion. And we'll blend into a paste. Wow, that already smells amazing. It kind of reminds me of dim sum. Here it's pretty simple. We have our white bread. We'll remove the crust, kind of forming these nice white bread squares. Now adding a nice dollop of our flavorful royal red to black and white sesame seeds for some beautiful color. Place at an angle and let's fry. As that bread toasts, the shrimp paste is also cooking directly into the bread. I mean, they look so crispy and delicious. I just have a strong feeling that bread acted like a sponge and absorbed a ton of oil. But we're just gonna try and ignore that, and with some green onion over the top, we're all just gonna convince ourselves that this is healthy.
Really good.
It's crispy, it has nice shrimp flavor, and the sesame crisping over the top.
This is insane. The crispiness, the soft of the shrimp, it's just the perfect yumminess.
You really get those Asian flavors in there, like the ginger comes through really nicely. That is phenomenal. I didn't realize there was this much variation in shrimp. This one almost doesn't taste like shrimp. It's more of just like a seafood flavor.
I'm getting a sweet punch and then like a salty punch and then an overall ocean punch.
Definitely above average. If you like seafood, you'll probably like this one. And we have made it to the one and only amaebi, also known as spot prawns. These are some super premium shrimp, and I mean, just take a look at them. Massive, like, horn on the head and incredibly unique stripes and colors. They're usually eaten raw, but of course, for the control, we'll grill them up like usual. I cannot wait to see what a shrimp of this quality tastes like when cooked simply just like this. For the non-control, with a shrimp of this quality, we are of course going back to Japan. It's time for sushi. Don't worry, we will be using that flavorful head as a component to this dish. With the shell removed, it just looks so incredibly fresh. Meantime, we'll drop those heads into some flour, get them lightly coated. By cooking like this, the head should be essentially completely edible by the time it's done cooking. Now we'll carefully butterfly the shrimp. So the thing about making sushi is it literally takes decades to master. As you can see, my form just masterful here. This is how you make perfect sushi. It ain't easy, but someone's got to do it. Laying that beautiful amaebi prawn over the top of our sushi, plated right next to the fried shrimp head, an absolute stunner.
Dude, that is the most beautiful shrimp I've ever seen in my life.
That's one of those pieces of sushi you either love or you hate. If you love it, it is just top tier.
It's honestly like a shrimp version of caviar for me. I love that.
But keep in mind, that was raw. Let's taste it cooked. It's way more reminiscent of a rich, flaky whitefish or crab than regular shrimp to me.
Might be the best one of the day.
It doesn't even taste like shrimp. It's like we've reached a whole new species.
Oh!
No way. This one's definitely better raw. The Japanese tiger prawn is better cooked. So I'm fine with these results. And we've arrived at the world's most popular shrimp. This is white shrimp. This is a super common and affordable supermarket shrimp. They're also the world's fastest growing shrimp. And fun fact, females can lay up to 1 million eggs within 24 hours. That is a whole lot of shrimp. Now for the non-control, we're making my all-time favorite noodle dish. We'll start by removing the head, then gently peeling off the shell, just like so. Make a little slice right here so I can easily devein. And let's get started on the noodles. Oil in, and we'll get some nice color. Now in with the garlic. The smell at this point is already insane. And in with the noodles. If you guessed pad thai, you are correct. There's just nothing like it, and it should work perfectly with these white shrimp that tend to have a neutral flavor that can be built off of with this aromatic Asian sauce. Finishing with carrots, bean sprouts, and green onions, and a fine topping with some crushed peanuts. Honestly, Italian, I take this noodle dish over anything from Europe every day of the week.
You ever see that clip of Gordon Ramsay trying to make pad thai and the Thai chef is just like hating on his dish? This is not pad thai at all. Really good.
You get those garlicky flavors and all those Asian sauces, so good.
Might be a little heavy on the soy, but it's pretty solid. I'd be happy to serve that at a restaurant in America. We're back to tasting like shrimp. The last couple were just like good. I mean, it's sweet, pretty mild and clean.
Yeah, it's not very oceany. Describe this as just if I went to the grocery store and picked out a shrimp and I didn't know what I was buying, it would taste like this.
I also like the texture. It's pretty firm. This is something that I'd like with shrimp cocktail or something like that.
Pretty standard, but definitely not bad. We've reached an unbelievably highly prized shrimp from Japan, Botan ebi. Ama ebi counterpart that we cooked earlier today. Botan ebi is more premium due to its larger size and apparently sweeter taste, but we'll be the judge of that. For the non-control, we're staying here in America and making what is quite possibly the most premium bang bang shrimp known to man. Bang bang shrimp feels like something that would be served at a Chinese restaurant, but it actually originated at a US seafood restaurant called Bonefish Grill. Needless to say, it is not commonly used with such premium shrimp, but I'm excited to find out if it should be. And we'll just throw milk for a very quick 10-minute brine. While it sits, let's do sauce. We got our QP mayo, chili sauce, and a little bit of sriracha. A bit of green onion, and mix. Now we'll get these shrimp into the seasoned flour, getting it all covered, and let's fry. You'll notice I left the heads on, which is not typical with shrimp, but these are just so premium, I really don't want any of it to go to waste. We'll get them into a bowl, covering in that creamy bang bang sauce. Now just gently mixing to get it all combined. These just look so insanely flavorful. My mouth is honestly watering as we speak. I'm gloving up for this one. It's like sick. Bang bang.
We're for Sunday cruises and rush hour warriors. But right now, we're for Phoebe, who needs to pick up her date by 8.
Motherfucker.
Wait, where are you biting? The head or the leg or the bottom?
I'm just going for it all.
I genuinely really like that one. I'm surprised because it's a mayo-based sauce and I don't want like a super heavy sauce on it, but it just works.
What do you guys think of the shrimp itself, though, in this format?
The flavor of the shrimp, I think, is pretty hidden because that mayo sauce and the fried and the crispiness.
Flavor is just out of control. Can I say that it's too tender?
Yes.
A shrimp like this should be eaten raw. It's still very good cooked, but if you really want to enjoy the experience, it's got to be sashimi style. Clearly a top tier shrimp, but you should probably eat it raw. We've reached another extremely shrimp in America, pink. Right there with brown and white shrimp. Pink shrimp are one of the 3 most popular wild-caught shrimp species in the US, and you've probably seen them at the fish counter. I'm super interested in seeing how they compare and if there's any differences between them. For the non-control, we're making what is widely considered the most popular shrimp dish in the entire world. The one and only shrimp scampi. And let's get started. Which I'm sad to find out that despite Italian root is actually an American invention. This is one of those dishes that's super common at places like Olive Garden and Red Lobster, and it always hits the spot. We'll deglaze with the wine. I've heated up more of that ramen shrimp broth, which we're gonna now add in. Throw in some crushed tomatoes, a little bit of onion, garlic, and black pepper, the Romano cheese. We'll throw in the butter rolled in flour. It's gonna hopefully help that sauce thicken, followed by some parsley. Throw in a little bit of pasta water. And finally, we'll go in with the linguine, making sure it's very al dente. Thin it out with a little more pasta water and give it a good mix. Throwing on a bunch of those perfectly seared pink shrimp over the top, followed by more shredded cheese. An absolute classic. Time to taste these pink shrimp. Wow.
So garlicky. I love that.
The thing about shrimp scampi, you can pretty much make it with any shrimp and it's gonna taste amazing.
It takes the control to actually experience the pink shrimp. It's very similar to the white shrimp, maybe a little more tender.
Softer and sweeter. I'm also getting a slight hint of Febreze.
I got like ocean a little bit.
What is you guys talking about? It's definitely closer to like a basic shrimp. Very similar to the white, maybe a bit more delicate than the brown, but I feel like they all fall in the same bucket of like average, but a relatively average supermarket shrimp. We're starting to get into big boy territory. This is Argentine red. These shrimp are gaining popularity in the US and are said to be similar to lobster in terms of taste, with a more intense, rich, sweet, and briny flavor compared to regular shrimp. With our control grilled to perfection, let's move on. And for the non-control, we're flying all the way to Texas, and this one is about to get extremely wild. Believe it or not, we're gonna attempt to turn this shrimp into bacon. Bear with me on this one, guys. This is something I've always wanted to do. Removing the vein, we have our army of Argentine shrimp all cleaned up. And we'll get started on the brine. So this is the exact same brine recipe I would use to make pork bacon. The key is that ratio of salt, sugar, and pink curing salt to ensure it's cured correctly. Now I'll add our red Argentine shrimp neatly like so. More of that cure over the top, patting it in. And this is what they look like. And we'll see these guys in a couple days. Well, we let that one go significantly longer than I originally anticipated. We are 5 days. You don't want to eat that? We are 5 days into brining shrimp bacon. Let's check them out. You don't want this. This is not for you. Oh, ow. Let's open her up. I mean, it still smells relatively fresh. There's a very strong, like salty black pepper flavor. I'm just happy to see that they don't appear to be raw. I will say they do feel very plump. I was almost sucked out of them. However, it is a lot more firm. Don't want them to be salty, so I am going to give them a quick rinse. Only thing left to do is get them on a rack, and we'll get them on the smoker. Just like that, it's been an hour and a half. They've reached 135 Fahrenheit, and they're looking pretty awesome. A really nice smoky smell. We're going to treat these just like we would regular bacon, and while they technically are fully cooked at this point, they still need a nice sear. So after splitting them just like so, we'll get them into a pan to crisp up. Using this weight to ensure caramelization, that is the color we're looking for. There it is, a perfectly cured and smoked piece of shrimp bacon, and there's only one thing to do with it. We, of course, have to make what is likely the first and last shrimp BLT ever created. It might sound weird, but at least visually, I'm feeling very optimistic about this one.
Next, what am I looking at?
Looking at a sandwich that you're going to enjoy.
Really weird.
Straight up, though, I don't think it was horrible.
It wasn't horrible. I think it was just a little too salty.
It was like eating shrimp jerky on a sandwich, which I'll let the audience decide. Would you guys like shrimp jerky on a sandwich?
There's a reason why regular bacon control. The first thing I noticed is the texture. It's kind of flaky. Kind of reminds me of king crab, actually, texturally.
I actually thought it was like a crab, but in a good way.
It has a really balanced flavor and honestly very rich.
Definitely feels more premium than some of like the more basic shrimp, but not quite at the level of like those crazy Japanese ones. Definitely in the top tier. We have made it to what is easily the craziest looking. Just some insane detail going on with this shrimp. The front, I mean, it's almost like paddles or something. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. All sorts of layers to the wings. Back, we have all these little flippy floppies right here. What is this animal? This does not look like it's from Earth. This is a mantis shrimp. For the control, we'll get it grilled up. It looks more like a giant insect than any shrimp I'm used to seeing. I'm gonna be honest, these things kind of freak me out, but check out what they look like alive in the water. They're adorable. For the non-control, we're making an iconic coastal Chinese dish. As you can see, there's some major spines on this tail here, also along the sides. This is something you don't want to put in your mouth, so we'll start by slicing them off with scissors. That should be a lot better. Now we'll just give these a light dusting with cornstarch. To get a really nice crunch, we're going to be doing fry. We'll start at 300 Fahrenheit for a couple minutes. Now we'll remove, we'll crank the heat, and give it one more fry. Oh my God. That was a lot more intense than expected. Be very careful if you try this recipe. But either way, at this point, they should be done. And now we'll bring this dish together. We'll throw in the shallots, garlic, and ginger. Back in with the mantis shrimp. We'll add the soy sauce and the Chinese cooking wine. A little bit of salt, some black pepper, and we'll just toss to combine. I have to say, at this point, they look and smell incredible. They've got this beautiful golden brown color to them and this amazing Asian kind of stir-fry smell. Very strange looking meat. We'll have to see how it tastes.
This kind of looks like a caterpillar mixed with a centipede, mixed with a dragon, mixed with the body of a butterfly.
Crazy.
I love the Asian
It's
flavors.
different than a normal shrimp. You can't really peel it. Flesh is so delicate, you kind of gotta like squeeze it towards you.
But the flavor's amazing. The soy sauce, ginger, garlic, like incredible.
All right, let's try the control.
Let's like scoop it out.
The meat almost evaporates.
Flavor is super interesting. It's almost like lobster roe.
Meanwhile, the texture is almost like lump crab. It's like little fibers.
How do you rank this though? Because it's just in a completely different ball than regular shrimp. I mean, that could easily be the most unique of the day. We've arrived at the most expensive and quite possibly the most premium shrimp in the entire world, carabinero. Just take a look at that stunning red color. Crazy. So it turns out carabinero is Spanish for police, for their deep red color, just like the Spanish customs office. Confused with other shrimp with red in their name, like Argentine red, but these carabineros are different and a true delicacy. Getting way out of my comfort zone with the non-control on this one, it's time for paella. We'll start by cooking down the garlic. Now we'll add in the heads. I know it's just the heads and garlic at this point, but it already smells incredible. Now we'll throw in the cognac. Time to flambe. Heads to this jar here, thin it out with a little bit of water, and let's blend. And we'll pour out all that insanely flavorful liquid to strain. And that right there is all flavor. That is extremely intense. It's like the most concentrated lobster bisque you'll ever have. Next up, we'll need some artichokes, which are these guys right here. Artichokes are honestly pretty wild vegetables. All we need is the inner heart, but there's just so many layers. So I think I actually have to continue removing some. That part right there is that inner kind of furry stuff that I think I need to remove. I'm just gonna work my knife down. Oh yeah, this is like hair. That is not stuff that you want to eat. Just like that, got it all cleaned out. I'll slice once more for nice pieces like this. Now we'll get all that flavorful oil from before, throw it in the paella pan, artichokes in, followed by the squid. Now we'll go in with the rice to toast, incorporating a bit more of that oil along with some Spanish paprika. Now, so keep in mind, this is my very first time making paella. If you're from Spain and you know how to do this correctly, please let me know how I'm doing down below in the comments. Next, we'll add in some saffron. It's an extremely prized and expensive herb that has some beautiful color. And finally, we'll go in with the water, followed by that flavorful blended shrimp head paste situation right over the top. This should add some crazy flavor. We'll stir. We'll just let this sit undisturbed to finish cooking. Be pretty much there. We'll add on our beautiful steamed shrimp, followed by some lemon wedges, as well as some parsley. And I have to say, at least visually, I'm feeling very good about this. I mean, if it tastes as good as it looks, then we're in for a treat.
Oh,
It looks better than it tastes.
It's not your best work, but you tried.
I feel like I just ate dirt.
I have a bone to pick with paella. How do you cook it? Because here's my question. I used 2 burners. I was constantly shifting it every like 30 seconds to try to get even distribution of the heat. I mean, the flavor is not terrible. Can we agree on that? Moving on. All right, we gotta taste these shrimp in their natural form because evidently Max is not Max the paella guy.
Ooh, Pepsi. Now that's better. Your burger better with Pepsi.
Whoa.
That's where it's at.
I think we made up for it.
It's like a baby lobster.
It's better than lobster.
Yeah, it's sweeter. It's amazing.
I think that's the best shrimp I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah, it had the juiciness, butteriness of a lobster in a shrimp form.
It's like every variable that makes up the taste, it's all in perfect harmony. I'm blown away. Stop talking smack about my paella. I'm never gonna let this one down. The opportunity, absolutely worth trying.
You know what else is worth trying?
Max Jerky. So guys, if you're interested in supporting the channel, this right here is by far the best way to do it. Max Jerky is the reason we're able to make videos like this. So if you enjoy them, the best way to show your support is through Max Jerky. Right now, we have all sorts of brand new products. Use code SHRIMP25, get 20. We appreciate the support. I mean, this thing is closer to a lobster than most shrimp you'll see. We've made it to black tiger prawns. These mild and slightly are very commonly produced in Asia, but as of late, they seem to be more and more popular, at least in supermarkets near me. Now, for the non-control, you guys have seen this in stores before. It's shrimp cocktail. But here's the thing. It's usually expensive and generally not very fresh. Here's how to make it way better at home. For our premium black tiger shrimp cocktail, we'll remove the shell and devein. Let's get our water starting just at room temp. We'll just season it with salt, along with some aromatics of your choice. You can kind of be flexible here. I'm throwing in some tarragon and some citrus. Now again, while that water is still not very hot yet, we're just going to add in our shrimp like so, gently bringing up that heat, allowing them to cook super evenly. In the meantime, this is how to make cocktail sauce. It's just chili sauce, horseradish, Worcestershire, lemon, hot sauce, and some salt. That's it. That is honestly one of my absolute favorites. If you like horseradish, you gotta try that. And with that, our shrimp should be done. What we'll need now is this ice bath. Let's see how they look. The ice bath completely stops the process, keeping them nice, plump, and not overcooked. And we're left with some beautiful black tiger prawn shrimp cocktail with the homemade sauce.
I love shrimp cocktail. Oh, way too much sauce on that one.
How much sauce do you add?
Enough.
A nice bounce to it, great texture.
I love shrimp cocktail. I will say the shrimp itself is nothing special for me. The flavor is pretty average, and with the shrimp cocktail, it's great. The sauce really shines, but the shrimp isn't the star.
Let's taste it on its own just to see, shell and all. Ooh.
Shrimp is good.
It's still just pretty average for me. Nothing really stands out.
I do think it's better than the pink, brown, and white though.
I agree. It's like right in the middle.
Not bad. Perhaps the most unique visual of the day. Next up, the langoustine. Also known as Norway lobster or scampi in the UK and Europe, it's technically not a shrimp, but has such a cool appearance with those giant claws. You already know I had to include it. For the non-control, we're making a staple of Southern cuisine, not your average shrimp and grits. Start by removing the tail, access that beautiful tail meat. Looks like a little mini lobster tail. Just crack right down like so, and hopefully it'll just come right out. That looks perfect. All right, with our cornmeal almost done, let's get started on the topping. Into the bacon grease, we'll add the onion and the peppers. Now we'll go in with the bacon and a little bit of garlic. And we'll go in with the shrimp. While that finishes up, we'll throw in some butter and the cheese. We got some good color. Now we'll go in with the stock. And let's assemble those buttery and cheesy grits. On with the shrimp, garnishing with one langoustine, a bit of parsley, and some lemon for good measure. It's actually my first time ever having shrimp and grits.
I had grits before once, and I was very underwhelmed. Wow.
That's ridiculous. I think from a dish perspective, that's the one I'm most impressed with. I always figured grits was just extremely bland, but in this context, like with the bacon, all those flavors. It's actually phenomenal.
I love all the textures with that bacon, with the creamy grits, the texture of the langoustine. It's very nice.
Langoustine tail meat by itself.
It's like the lobster. Not super flavorful, not bad, but not like the greatest thing in the world.
Completely different than a lot of the shrimp we've had. Yeah, like the meat to shell ratio is not ideal. Whoa.
I just think that the supermarket pink, white, brown were better, so I think just a little bit below average.
We have made it to the biggest of the day. This thing is an absolute beast, the African tiger prawn. For reference, this thing is literally the same size as Sophia's new cat. Everyone say hi to Cleo. Hey, Cleo. And we'll grill up the control. I still can't believe the size of this thing. And for the non-control, we're going back to Japan and, of course, taking this one to the next level. The first step in this abomination of a sushi roll is to remove the shell, just like so. Now I'll just lightly dust with some flour. And I'm gonna just skewer this up just to help it maintain its shape. Time to fry. This here is our tempura batter. I'll start by just drizzling some in the oil. Just getting it all mixed around. Drop in the shrimp, making sure to get it all nice and covered. And in with the shrimp. From here, kind of spoon the batter onto the tempura for an additional layer, leaving us with some insane texture. No clue if this is actually going to work, but next step, let's turn this into a dragon roll. On with the rice. Fortunately, I have a lot of experience making sushi rolls. No, I do not. It's tough work, but somebody's got to do it. We'll throw on some sesame seeds. We'll flip it over. We'll add the cucumbers. Truly have no idea if this is actually going to fit. We got our whole shrimp, and I'll try to wrap it up. Come on. Come on, baby. Keep it all tight. See if it's stuck together. Tight squeeze, but I think it actually worked. For a classic dragon roll topping, we have some sliced avocado. That will layer directly over the top, forming a tight seal. A bit of tobiko, spicy mayo, sesame seeds, and that sweet eel sauce. And that right there is quite the cross section. That was a crazy food, but I'm shocked to say I think there was too much.
We're all off.
It's all about a nice balance. The thing is, the flavor was really good on all the different parts. There was just so much shrimp in there. You couldn't really get that perfect bite that you want with sushi.
I do love shrimp tempura rolls, but this one, I don't know if I loved it or hated it.
All right, let's taste this thing in its natural form. That's pretty crazy.
Lobster. It's like a tail. It's so big.
I will say the flavor fades really fast. Punch in the beginning. It's really just a texture thing by the end.
I mean, needless to say, extremely fun to eat, but from a flavor standpoint, we've definitely had better today. Ooh, that's pretty high. I was wowed by the size. Extremely fun to eat, but in terms of flavor, not the best of the day. Thank you all so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support the channel, please check out Max Jerky. Use code SHRIMP25 for 25% off. We appreciate the support, and we'll see you next time. Today we attempt to turn a $1 to $100 steak. This is an eye round steak. It's the cheapest and quite possibly the worst tasting cut on the cow.
That's one of the worst steaks I've ever eaten.
That was so bad. On the other end of the spectrum, this here is an Australian Wagyu ribeye that'll easily cost $100 or more at a steakhouse. What makes these steaks different comes down to two characteristics: texture and the eye round ranks low on both of these. This steak is almost impossible to chew, and it's also super lean and lacking in flavor. It's basically like eating shoe leather. So this is the plan. First, we test every meat tenderizer to see which is best. Then we'll test every flavor enhancer to find out which of those is superior. And finally, tenderizing method with the best flavor enhancing method, an ultra upgraded $1 Franken steak to see if it can compete with one of the highest end steaks in the world. Buckle up because some of these techniques get absolutely crazy. Let's get started. The first category to improve tenderness and juiciness is using enzymes, and believe it or not, we're starting. Now before we continue, oh man. to slice it perfectly parallel on that center. Pineapple contains an enzyme called bromelain, which is why it's popular as a meat tenderizer. Our $1 steak goes into a bowl and will completely cover the blended up pineapple. Next up, papaya, which contains an enzyme called papain, which is actually known to be even more potent than the bromelain, which is found in pineapple. Kiwi contains actinidin, a slightly more mild but still effective tenderizer. And finally, Asian pear, which contains cysteine protease. It's a famous meat tenderizing fruit for Korean barbecue. We'll get these guys in the fridge and check back in on them in about an hour and a half. And it's been exactly an hour and a half. And let's see what we got. Definitely a bit more gray, and it does feel pretty tender, but we'll only know once it's cooked. Next, we got the papaya. We'll say this one does appear more tender than the pineapple. Kiwi. And the Asian pear. We'll treat each of these $1 steaks the same from this point forward, seasoning with salt and pepper, and we'll sear starting with the pineapple. We got all these burn bits on the side. I'm not feeling good about this one. You can see how the edges are just completely burning before we've even developed any crust in there. Despite some slight burning, it actually doesn't look bad at all. The papaya crust is a little less strong as it kind of steamed when it hit the pan, but the kiwi and Asian pear looked pretty perfect. Since this is the first taste test, we also have a regular control eye around just to see what we're working with when it comes to this $1 steak, and it's time to taste. All right, guys, let's start with the control. This is just a regular pan-seared eye around.
Kind of chewy. Really chewy.
I feel like I'm chewing gum.
Meat gum.
Pretty good beefiness.
I think the takeaway is it's impossible to chew. There's a reason people don't eat this as steak.
That cut right there needs a lot of work. Next up, pineapple marinade.
Wow.
Significantly more tender.
Way more tender.
By no means is that like a filet mignon, but it is probably 4 or 5 times more tender. And honestly, the flavor wasn't that much different. Like, generally speaking, it just tastes like a steak. All in all, a massive improvement. Papaya. It tastes like sirloin.
I'm blown away that this is the same steak as that.
Again, the flavor and the richness isn't there, but tenderness, I mean, that is a huge improvement.
I could have thought that was like a New York strip.
Try to keep.
You can choose to raid the caravan, or you can choose to guard it. This is a game where slaying monsters are not the only way to grow stronger. Heck, it's...
Wow, so tender to the point where it's almost mushy.
If you gave me these steaks and did not tell me what they were, I'd probably say this is a bad filet mignon.
Great way to put it. I mean, this is just blowing my mind. Like, you guys could just stop the video with the takeaway that you should definitely be marinating your tough cuts. It's a night and day difference. But please don't stop the video, because there's a lot more crazy stuff about to come. Cheers. That might be the best one of the day. It's so juicy and tender.
Wow.
I feel like I'm getting a little bit of sweetness, which I actually like.
That one was juicy.
Yeah, I think that's the winner.
You genuinely can't tell that there was fruit involved. I do agree this was the best. And there's probably a reason why in Korean barbecue they always use Asian pear for tenderizing.
Well, it is very clear that out of all of our fruit options, Asian pear was by far the best. Let's move on and see if it remains on top. Asian pear will start in the top spot when it comes to meat tenderizers, but let's keep testing to see which tenderizer is best of all. If anyone has a cure or knows what to do with a figure that looks like this, please let me know in the comments. This is bad. Lemon juice. And when it comes to lemon juice, it is critical that you use the fresh stuff. Lemons can apparently tenderize steak as the acidity breaks down muscle fibers, but I've never tried this one. It's been about 5 hours, and to be honest, this one is looking rough. It looks and feels almost like it's already been cooked. It is so weird. Definitely doesn't feel more tender. If anything, it feels super tough. Now that it's dried, it almost has this metallic look to it. This is just strange. Salt, pepper, and we'll sear. The crust actually doesn't look terrible, given it's been soaking in a liquid, but let's see how it tastes. Whoa,
That is so unique.
you took the words out of my mouth. It feels like it should be a sour lemon candy, like lemon steak.
It reminds me of at Bickford's, this pancake house. They would have these big Dutch baby pancakes and they'd put lemon powdered sugar.
It's a savory lemon flavor.
Yeah.
I actually really like it, but I don't want a whole steak that tastes exactly like lemon.
Flavor, super interesting, but again, the whole purpose of this experiment is, does it make it more tender? I'd say it does to a slight degree, but not enough to make it worth it. For our next tenderizer, we have buttermilk. So buttermilk contains an enzyme called lipase, which helps in breaking down fats. However, when it comes to tenderizing steak, the primary way it does it is through lactic acid, which is produced by the fermentation process when buttermilk is made. That is a whole lot of sciencey technical terminology, but the reality is I have no idea if this is going to work. Just like that, our buttermilk brine steak is good to go. It smells a little sour. Not the best crust of the day, but I do have some pretty high hopes for this one. Buttermilk. It's juicy, but the flavor is horrible, and it's not very tender.
It's really tough.
I actually don't really mind the flavor, but it's not tender. I thought buttermilk is supposed to do that. I don't taste buttermilk in there.
It doesn't really have much.
Needless to say, buttermilk is not going to be high on our list. Next up, baking soda. By raising the pH level, baking soda breaks down muscle fibers and is very common in Chinese cooking. And just like that, it's ready to go. I washed it off, then dried it. This looks exactly like a piece of ahi tuna. Beautiful deep red color, and it has that almost metallic shimmering color. And that right there is easily the most beautiful crust of the day. I mean, the outside is just this crazy, weird, gray, gummy, just strange looking crust. Baking soda. Whoa.
On the count of three, say what you think it tastes like. 1, 2, 3.
Soggy
Popcorn.
KFC.
Exactly like popcorn that's slightly burnt.
No, it's crispy pork belly skin.
No, guys, it's soggy KFC.
It actually is tender. It just affected the flavor way too much.
Does this taste better or worse than the controlled steak?
Flavor worse.
I think it's better.
But again, it does not taste like steak, and for that reason, I guess we have to say it doesn't work. Though personally, I'm a fan. Next up, pickle juice. Pickle juice is salty and acidic, which should have some tenderizing effect. Then about 5 hours, and our pickle steak should be done. We'll pat it dry, then just season with salt and pepper. Needless to say, this is the best crust of the day. Pickle. It tastes like pickle.
I love it. I love pickles.
Really?
It's seasoned in pickle, and pickles are salty, so you get a salty, amazing pickle brine flavor.
It did make it a little bit more tender, and the flavor, I don't know if I can get on board with it, but in terms of tenderness, it kind of works, kind of doesn't.
But in the grand scheme of adding tenderness to a steak, realistically, this is not it. Moving on. And next up, we got seltzer. Soda water is apparently a common tenderizer in Russia and some other parts of the world, but I'm a little skeptical. Let's find out if that seltzer has worked its magic. I mean, call me crazy, but this looks way more like veal or pork than any kind of beef. I guess veal is kind of beef, but you get the point. It does not look like normal beef. This crust is looking weak. I mean, this was essentially a waterlogged steak. It basically like just steamed / boiled in its own juices. I mean, it's looking more like tuna than any sort of steak I've seen. That crust is not what you want to be seeing on a steak. Oh,
That's so bad.
so bad.
That's one of the worst steaks I've ever eaten.
That is so bad.
It's gamey. It's like watered down steak flavor. That's kind of gamey and gross.
There's literally zero beefiness left on that steak. Zero crust development. I agree with you, Sophia. That might be the worst steak I've ever had in my life. Do not do that.
Do you want to learn first aid? Choose CBD College for our top-notch and nationally accredited first aid training, so you can be confident and prepared for when it matters most. Whether you work in nursing, emergency services, sports training, retail or hospitality,
Next up, we have powdered tenderizer. This stuff contains bromelain, the same enzyme found in pineapple. So they only recommended about 30 minutes. Unfortunately, I got a little carried away. It's been over 5 hours. Let's see how this is. And we'll season it up just like normal. This is the powdered tenderizer you can buy in a store.
Wow.
I'm a little disappointed because this is the easy expected answer of what would be best. There's literally a powdered store-bought tenderizer, but it just works.
I thought it it was a gimmick.
And we did this for 5 hours, way more than the recommended time. It tastes like a perfectly tender steak.
Yeah, I think this would do the best job tricking someone into thinking a cheap steak was an expensive steak because it doesn't alter the flavor in any bad way. It actually gives it a really nice, salty, dry brine.
That's the other thing. It does have salt in it. So not only does it tenderize, but it's also dry brining, and like that salt is penetrating deeply. So it's salty, it's tender. As much as I'd love to use like the Asian pear or one of the more natural things, we are on a mission to make the cheapest steak possible taste like a $100 steak. So we got to go with what tastes best. And at least so far, that is it. Next up, ginger. Ginger has something called zingibane. Not even going to act like I pronounced that one right whatsoever, but it apparently has a strong tenderizing effect. And our ginger steak is good to go. Gave it a quick rinse and dried it up looking like. It does feel a bit more tender, but it still has a very strong ginger smell. That is another rough looking crust. Let's see how it tastes. Ginger.
Very gingery.
It's got a little kick to it at the end.
Kind of reminds me of the ginger dressing at hibachi restaurants.
It's a super potent tenderizer. I think it made the meat a little bit more tender for sure, but not as much as the fruit from before. We're trying to make a $1 steak, a $100 steak. You don't do that by making it taste like ginger, right?
True. Next up, pink curing salt, aka sodium nitrite. Pink curing salt is a critical component to cured meats, a process that often results in a more tender texture. And we'll see this in a couple days. And just like that, it has been 3 full days, and this guy should be done. It almost feels waterlogged. One thing I will say is the smell is absolutely delicious. It smells exactly like pastrami that hasn't been cooked yet. I mean, definitely the best smelling steak. It's almost like roasted bacon. The crust is also beautiful, and I mean, that is juicy. Sodium nitrite, this one looks very different than the rest. I think that's the best of the day.
I love that. It's like Canadian bacon.
To me, it tastes like a smoky burnt end almost. Those crunchy bits, that is unbelievable.
I love the cured taste, but what I will say is it's not like a premium taste.
I agree with you. It wouldn't turn a $1 steak into a $100 steak. I don't know if I could eat a whole steak's worth of that. Like, it's good for a few bites, but you wouldn't really want to sit down and eat that whole thing. The next category to improve tenderness is using mechanical tenderizers, and we're starting with this. We just go right on top of the steak, press down, allowing those prongs to complete. Wow, I went too, we're stuck. All right, technical difficulties. But yeah, allowing those prongs to go through. What? You guys get the point. Believe it or not, a lot of steaks you get at a grocery store are blade tenderized, which is a similar concept as this. All right, guys, this is our very first mechanical, like manual tenderizer.
It's not doing it for me.
It's not terrible, though.
No, it's not terrible. Honestly, I can't tell a difference between this and the control.
Really? My piece is way more tender than the control.
It's definitely better than the control, but there is some toughness that's still there. So I wouldn't say it did the best job.
Overall, I'd say it works, though there are definitely better options. Next up, we got the KitchenAid automatic tenderizer attachment. One thing I know for sure, you do not want to put your fingers in. Oh, whoa. Look at this thing. He freaking put in some work. That took like half a second. I am very impressed. And just like that, our steak is done. It's crazy how fibers are just significantly more tender than normal with this one.
Like a hamburger.
Wow, that really works.
That might be the best steak of the day. The flavor of the crust is on point, very tender.
It's like hamburgery.
I agree.
Yeah, a little hamburgery.
That crust to meat ratio is just amplified right now because of all those divots and rivets.
Like this really fibers inside the meat.
I think the powdered tenderizer is a little bit better, mostly because it retained the integrity and the structure of the steak itself. It does kind of break it down and make it difficult to combine this method with other techniques. But at least for me, that is for sure in the top 2. If you have a KitchenAid with that attachment, it is absolutely worth it. Next, we'll be double bagging this one. How's it looking?
We got a problem.
Really? Oh no. How'd that happen? I think you gotta do it in vacuum seal. Vacuum seal.
Use Then we have a problem.
No, come on.
I don't think it's getting traction in the bag.
You don't say? Seriously.
I think anyone that wants to be part of something new and modern that's challenging and rewarding would be interested in what we do. This is my army. Discover yours.
What are you risking online? Install all software updates to keep your devices secure. Learn simple steps to protect yourself at actnowstaysecure.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. I think we finally got it. I mean, if that isn't tender, I don't know what is. Look at that beautiful steak, the profile on that thing. Now we'll just sear up our... roadkill steak. And I'm just going to say it, somehow this doesn't look bad at all.
Dude, what is going on with that steak? It looks like a hamburger that was thrown on the ground.
Cal, don't ask questions, just enjoy the steak at your own risk.
It's kind of tender.
It's super tender.
What?
That might be the most tender steak of the day.
That is so tender.
What did you do to that?
Don't worry about it. I'm not going to say it's the most convenient method to tender up.
Stop contact. It's Ward. Give me a call back whenever, bro. We want to talk about you coming down this weekend, yeah. Stop contact. It's Ward. Give me a call back whenever, bro. We want to talk about you coming down this weekend, yeah.
As a steak, by golly, it works.
What did you do to it?
I ran over it with my car.
Oh my god.
Mallet. This one's pretty straightforward. Just beating that meat. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it here. Don't want it to get too thin. I still want this thing to be a steak. It held its shape a lot more than some of the previous. And with that cross section, you can see how the fibers are broken down. Mallet. Again, pretty meh. It's a little more tender than the control, but it's still got to chew.
I think I know what's happening here. The mallet kind of breaks down the exterior, but it doesn't penetrate, so you still get all that tough interior.
I mean, I'm still chewing. There are way better options. I got the meat sweats. The final category to improve tenderness is the cooking method, and we're starting with the pressure cooker.
Oh my God!
We'll start by adding in some chicken stock. We'll say I am very inexperienced when it comes to pressure cookers. We'll see how this goes. Steak in. 35 minutes are up, so I think it should be done. Time to release the pressure. Oh, I mean, it already smells delicious. Let's see what we got. Something tells me this is going to be overcooked, but we'll see how it tastes. Definitely lacking a crust on this one. The dreaded well done steak. I mean, that is as well done as it gets. It does sort of have this like pullable texture though, which you'd expect from something braised, smoked, or I guess in this case, cooked in a pressure cooker.
I'm gonna be honest, this kind of looks like a hockey puck.
Somehow it's so tender, but it's so dry. Like maxed out both categories.
It's not good. There's no moisture in it. We did succeed in making it tender, which was the point, but given how dry it is, it just isn't gonna work.
Things I did wrong. Forgot about arrows. Deployed on the wrong side. Used too much elixir. Built a silly deck.
Next up, sous vide. You can think of this as a bathtub for steak, holding a precise temperature for perfect edge-to-edge doneness. And we'll get it into the bath, and we'll see you in 24 hours. And just like that, our 24 hours are up. And I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that this steak is looking good right now. But the cool thing is that the longer something is sous vide, the more tender it gets. I've left stuff in here for a couple days with great tenderizing success. This is a sous vide steak. That is the perfect tenderness of a steak.
Even though it's tender, it tastes overcooked. It's not that juicy, yummy, medium rare taste.
It's super tender, but something about sous vide, it feels like it takes out some of the flavor of cooking a steak a traditional way, like in a pan or on a grill.
All that said, it is a viable option. It's still tender and relatively juicy, just maybe not the best of the day. Now this might be illegal, but this one, we're smoking like a brisket. All we need to do is season normally and get it on the grill, and we're smoking over applewood. Well, that one took a full 6 hours, but our eye round has reached 203 Fahrenheit. But will it be tender? Bum, bum, bum. That is not juicy, but we do have a little baby smoke ring. It's actually kind of cool. I mean, this thing looks drier than the Sahara Desert. Certainly doesn't appear juicy, but let's see if it's shreddable. A little bit. I mean, it's definitely a bit tender.
Really cute smoke ring.
But it's not that bad. It's very tender and has an incredible smoke flavor, but
it is so dry.
Honey water. The thing about eye round is that it lacks connective tissue. Kyle, chew.
I can't.
You get your water after you swallow.
So dry up in there.
Brisket, for example, has a lot of it, so when it breaks down, it keeps it juicy. Eye round does not work smoking it like a brisket, though it does taste pretty good.
That's delicious. Dude, it's stuck in my throat. I need my water.
Honestly, that last steak was extremely dry, but I'm going to show you something that is. This is a sample piece of Max Jerky Texas Barbecue that we just received from our factory today. It's one of many unique flavors we've handcrafted, and it's the best way to support our channel. Use code TENDER25 for a 25% discount at maxjerky.com if you'd like to give it a shot. Okay, guys, we've officially tested 20 tenderizers. The unanimous winner is the powdered tenderizer, meaning that is what use for our final steak, and it's time we move on to enhancing. So we found some pretty good methods to improve tenderness, but what's debatably more important than tenderness is great flavor, something this cheap steak here is definitely missing. So now it's time to test flavoring methods to see if we can turn $1 flavor into $100 flavor. Starting off with a super unique one, we got honey. I've actually done this one before, and the results were insane. This is going to be very sweet, so making sure to start it off with a lot of salt and pepper. Then just completely covering it in 100% honey. And we'll see you in 2 days. And this is what we got. After a full 48 hours, I'll wipe away as much leftover honey as possible. And I'll also season once more to hopefully balance the sweetness. The crust is looking fantastic and it seems pretty juicy, so let's see. Okay guys, for our next steaks, keep in mind they are not necessarily going to be tender. All we are judging on is flavor. First up, we have honey soaked.
I love that. Crispy crust, amazing flavor.
but not as overwhelmingly sweet as you would expect it to be.
I don't like a sweet steak. I like my savory food savory and my sweet food sweet, and I don't always like to combine them. Honestly, I think it ruins the steak.
All that said, if you like sweet and savory, this is absolutely something you need to try. Is this specifically something that'll turn a $1 steak into a $100 steak? Let's try the rest before we decide. This is one I think has the most potential. It's time for the tallow injection. High quality steaks are already filled with flavorful marbling on the inside, and this one has none of it. So by injecting like this, we're basically giving it artificial marbling. It should lead to way better flavor and also help with juiciness. With it fully injected, I'll season normally and give it a sear. Slicing into it, it is clear that this steak is way juicier than others from today, but we'll see how it translates when eaten. Botox steak. That's crazy.
So juicy.
It's still tough. Like, it didn't make it more tender, and it added exactly what was missing when it comes to flavor.
I'm kind of surprised the flavor and the juiciness actually really does stick with the steak throughout the cook process. I thought it might just all fall out.
It improves the flavor, it improves the juiciness. That right there is cool. Next up, we're going to try a duck fat confit. Confit is a French cooking method which translates to preserve. It's often done with fattier cuts like duck, but it should add crazy flavor. Ran out of the duck fat, so I am going to finish it off with a little bit of Wagyu tallow. Should act the exact same way. And this stuff here is my favorite. I'll gently add in the steak, followed by some garlic and herbs for a little more flavor. And we'll just slowly bring up the temp, allowing that steak to confit. It's been about an hour, and our steak has reached the internal temp. Quick sear, and let's see how it tastes. Confit.
I love that one. That is the juiciest steak I've eaten today.
And it's almost less beefy for me. It's like the fat's pulled out the beefiness.
It doesn't add flavor, it honestly does take away. I just like the juiciness.
Unique, but not.
You can choose to raid the caravan, or you can choose to guard it. This is a game where slaying monsters are not the only way to grow stronger. Heck, it's not even the main way. Discover relics in the ruins. Loot treasures from abandoned camps. Learn skills by finishing quests. Profit from trading routes. Build your own territory. Choose your own way to play. Just because you can.
Activia has probiotics 100 times stronger to survive and reach the gut alive.
Next, why is there compound butter flying out of the sky? Compound butter is a great way to add flavor. One hot steak directly on knobs of the flavor, buttering the crust over the top while letting the steak melt and and absorb the flavor from below. It also doubles as the perfect dip. The biggest increase in technique.
I love the herb flavors. It just enhances.
Like I'm eating steak at a really fancy restaurant. Typically don't do that at home, but clearly there's a reason. It's unbelievable.
That will make any steak 10 times better.
I'm just going to speak for all of us. We are definitely using that on a $100 steak, and you should be using it too. This is a traditional one. It's time for the butter paste. Unlike the last one, we're adding butter during the cooking process, and I'm also throwing in some garlic and onions. The flavors release into the butter, creating this golden blanket over the steak while helping it cook more evenly. Not to mention, it makes your house smell amazing. Butter paste. The butter basting adds some really nice richness.
It's like a different type of compliment than the compound butter. That was way more intense. This is more subtle, and I feel like paired together, it might be really good.
I think we gotta use this one.
I think so too.
Next up, umami powder. Gotta give this thing a taste. Whoa, it tastes like umami. They're not lying here. It is so flavorful. There is salt in the umami powder, so going very light on the salt, just a little bit of black pepper, and I'll give it a nice coating of that umami powder. Happy to see that the umami powder didn't burn, so let's give it a shot. Umami powder. It makes it better, but it's pretty subtle.
Tastes a little bit oniony, garlicky, but doesn't taste like a really high-end steak.
I'm getting liver and onions, which I actually love, but for a steak, I don't prefer it.
Let's move on. Someone call Uncle Roger, because next up, it's MSG. And if you don't know what MSG is, it's basically salt on crack. Monosodium glutamate is a flavor enhancer that provides tons of umami and savoriness. So MSG is a little different than salt, so we're still going to add that. Bit of black pepper, and finally, those little crystals of monosodium glutamate. MSG used to have a terrible reputation, but in my opinion, it really shouldn't and is totally fine in moderation. Cheers.
It's like a punch of flavor.
It reminds me of the umami powder, but apparently it kind of brings out the beefiness, which I love.
MSG gets a really bad reputation, but it's just kind of like elevated salt.
It is fairly subtle, but it does add like a 10 to 20% increase in flavor. For that reason, I have a very good feeling we'll be using this at the end of the video.
I've mastered technology that few can access. I lead a team that can see where others can't. I am a submariner. Find out who you can be.
Toyota.
the tried and true dry brine. All you need to do is season with a bunch of salt, then get it on a rack and into the fridge for a couple hours. After 4 hours, all the salt has been absorbed with a dry exterior, which is key. It allows for a way better crust than normal and also should lead to better flavor deep in the meat. I want the viewer to know we've eaten about 25 eye-round steaks. Yes, we're doing our best to improve them, but this is probably the lowest quality steak on the cow. And we've been eating a lot of it off screen. There's been a lot of steak consumed, so I just really hope you're learning something. If you are, please just drop a comment. Let us know if you're enjoying the video. It really means a lot to us. Significant improvement on the crust. That's the main thing.
The thing about that, crust isn't just texture, it's all the flavor. That is like the best flavor enhancer without actually doing much different.
It makes a huge difference. Next up, we're going to try adding cold smoke. Cold smoking involves adding real smoke, and that the smoke is not cooking the food. Of course, here we got that good stuff, sweet, sweet apple. This smoke gun spits out room temp smoke, so it's perfect for this application. Trying to get it super, super dense and smoky in there. I love this.
Let's be careful with Jack, man. You know the whole time that she was coming up here. How long have you been a thunder? I gotta get But if you want to sit here and talk about this, I don't want to talk about it because I feel like I'm in court again. You can understand where I'm coming from. I'm an innocent man. But are you an innocent man right now? No, I'm not. We're not going to make a probable cause arrest of this today. I know you're not getting the content you're probably looking for today. Well, I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't really care about the content. You know, this dude, the little girl, and he just tried to come another 15-year-old girl. Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? Welcome back to a brand new episode of EDP Watch. And today's episode's a sad one because we have a RSO coming over here. That's right, y'all. A registered offender is coming over here, and this guy has a past victim. He's actually a lifetime registry. At the age of 19, he did something unimaginable, and even on his case files, it says that it was aggressive to a bro. And today, he's trying to recreate that crime scene here in Citrus, Florida. We're here waiting for him right now. He got Ubered over 3 hours. So he's going to be here very soon. So we're going to show you guys that interaction, Uber. And not only is he coming, but he's also bringing his dog. Anthony Creamer is on the way. And sadly, his last name is what he wants to do to this victim. It's absolutely disgusting, grotesque, man. We just got here in Florida. I mean, we literally flew out at 6 a.m. and we didn't get here until 2. Then we had to drive another 2 hours to get here. And it's about 4:40 right now. And they're going to be here any minute now. So we're just waiting. Actually, I just got confirmation that they're 5 minutes away, y'all. So we're going to get in the car. We're going to wait. We're going to show you guys the footage of when he first got in to coming over here. If you guys want to see the uncensored and the whole, thing, the chat logs, all that, be sure to go to our website, edpwatch.com, with over 19,000 members. It truly supports us. I mean, we're moving 3 dudes all across the country, flights, Airbnbs, rentals, you name it, paying the decoy as well. All the help really does help. So we're going to be here waiting. It's going to be raining, so we might go inside the Airbnb here and talk to him inside. We are going to be getting him right here. So without further ado, let's wait for Anthony Creamer. Oh, he just got out. Yeah, let's go talk to him. Yeah, let's go to him. Hey, what's up, Anthony, man? What's this? What the f*** is that? Do you want to watch EDP Watch episodes early and completely uncensored? Do you want to listen in on these disturbing one-on-one calls we have with these more? Why not join EDP Watch uncensored chat? Listen, my man, I don't think you're a bad guy. I don't want you to think anything sketchy. I know he's a big black guy and everything. We're just here to talk about her mom saw the messages. We don't think you're a bad dude, man. Genuinely, you got your dog with you. We just want to have a conversation. Is that cool with you? Is it cool if we just pat you down? He's gonna pat you down and then give your dog. Oh, what's your dog name, man? Man, what's up, Jack? He's beautiful. Her mom left. Her mom said we can talk inside her house. Talk inside her house. Yeah, so that way I don't want to get your dog wet and stuff. Yeah. Oh, but my bad. My name is DeMarcus. Do you kind of know what we'll be talking about? No, okay. We can just go inside and talk about it. Yeah. No, bro. I'm telling you, we're not cops at all, man. You're not in any trouble. It's just a conversation that her mom wants us to have with you. You know what I mean? A mother's worry, because she was there waiting for you, and then her mom saw those messages, and so she hit up our organization. It's kind of a whole last minute thing. So we just want to talk to you about this, get this straightened out, bro, man. Genuinely, we can get you a ride back. Yeah, okay, we can ask him if he can give you a ride back. And I can ask him if he can stay. Hey, Anthony said that he gave you just going inside with us while we wait, and then you can give him a ride back. Okay, well, did tell you how old she was? She didn't. So, how old did she tell you she was? So you were assuming she was 18? Yeah, man, she did text you on Facebook that she was. You didn't get that message? Okay. Were there any other messages from her that you didn't see? Okay. So you hit her up, you said hi first. She said, hey, you're like, how are you? I'm good. Ooh, hey. Let's be careful with Jack, man. Let's be careful with Jack. Can you tell me what she said right here?
Yeah, I didn't get that part.
Okay, so why'd you say nice?
She told me, I got that she's in Clearwater.
If I were to look at your thing, would it show the same thing that it said? That you didn't get? Oh, okay, we got Wi-Fi inside, so we'll see. What's up, Jack? Good boy. Can I see on your end if you got the message of her being?
I might have got it earlier when I was leaving.
Okay, let's all the way back at the beginning. Okay, yeah. So you did get the message of her saying that she was. So I guess why did you still come through, man?
I was just coming to hang out with your friends.
Okay. She just wanted more. Okay.
Now that I know how old she was, I didn't want to be here. I feel like
So you don't even want to be here.
I'm gonna block her on Facebook and everything.
But she told you multiple times that she was. That wasn't just the only time. I counted 5 on hand. I know I said you're not going to get in trouble, and you're not. And the main reason why you're not going to get in trouble is because I said you brought your dog, and so I'm thinking. Yeah, like totally. Just because you're. That's the only reason why I'm like, okay, I think we can have a conversation with him.
If my dog can't come, I'm not going.
Facts. Yeah, like that. Coochie, like she's. My dog is coming with me. I respect the hell out of that, man. Bro, man, that's the main reason why it's like, you know what? I don't think we gotta get anybody else involved. I think we can just talk about this and figure it out and then get you and Jack back home. So now, this is the thing. How long have you been a defender?
I got accused of it in 2010.
Okay. So how long have you been on the history list? Since 2010? So that's when you got. Okay. So how long were you in prison for? Okay. And you said alleged. So what did they allege you did?
The girl accused me, but she recanted her story.
Okay.
Just recently.
Just recently.
Yes.
And how old was that girl?
18. Sure. Something like that, my bad. And she recanted her story and said, because my sister's dead.
Now you said, but the court document says.
Yeah.
So she was, and this allegedly happened?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and you were 19, right?
Just about to be 19.
So what did they say happened?
They said I had her and they had DNA evidence and all that stuff.
You've been a offender for almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of a long time to be on the sex registry list and all this, you went through this before, alleged. But now, how old is.
Now that I know.
And kind of, what's this right here?
Yeah.
That
looks bad.
Well, like, can you tell me what that is?
It's me.
So is this your.
Yeah.
So why did you send her a picture of your.
Because she wanted to see.
You think this is a wise thing to send to.
I didn't.
Especially what you we gotta keep it real, especially what you've been through, man. Why we sending pictures of our to.
I wasn't thinking.
So I understand why you weren't fully honest with me earlier because I get it, random dude and stuff like that, and I think that actually shows your true character because, if you were just straight up honest, like right off the bat, that's a sociopath. That's one that doesn't care about it. So I totally understand why you weren't fully honest with me earlier, but I'm asking you again, did you know the whole time that she was coming up here? Okay. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I should have known. I should have just stayed home. I don't want you to think any differently today.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of random for your Uber driver to be hearing all this. Yeah, but So what did you tell your brother that you were coming to come do? Did you tell him how old the person was? No. What would your brother have thought if you told him?
You would have looked and stayed home.
So why didn't you tell him?
Because in all reality, I wanted to get out of a house that I made jump in for 3 months. We don't
Okay.
I still want to deal with it.
Man, that's the thing, man. Idle time is the devil's playground.
So that's why I still want to video games all the time, so my mind doesn't wander into stupid stuff.
Okay. Well, maybe we should have been keep on playing video games, how long do we have this attraction to younger females? Because it's a pattern now, you know what I mean? And so to stop it, we gotta get to the source of it, you know? And that's what I'm here to do to help our organization called Kid Protector America. And we help individuals who are going through this stuff to try to break this cycle.
In all reality, I think it's because I got
Okay, so when you get lonely, you just want to talk to younger girls? Is that what it is?
someone who's gender, female in gender.
But you know, like, if they're underage, we can't talk to them.
Okay, yeah, I know. And I shouldn't have started to.
You know, I don't think I have to embarrass you by reading these messages, man. You're being really honest with me now. I appreciate that, man. Do we have any apps like Telegram or Teleguard or Signal? Is it, you know,
I got Snapchat.
Snapchat? Okay, on Snapchat, like, we gotta find a catalyst for this. Catalyst meaning is like the starting point, you know what I mean? So on Snapchat, man, is there other young girls that we're talking to? Don't worry, I'm not trying to figure out about them. Not that you know.
One that just turned 19.
Is it cool if you put your phone like right there? Is it cool if I touch it? If that's okay with you? Yeah, okay, no, okay, so we got Zangy right here. Okay, so what's
I don't know, like, I downloaded it because I thought I was talking to this chick that's from here. And this chick just keeps blowing my phone out. She's
Okay.
in like 60s. She tried to call me yesterday.
oh dang.
But this girl, oh look, she blocked me.
So on any of these things are like we getting any videos or things of people that are younger on the younger side, or do we have any younger people reaching out sending us like crazy photos that they shouldn't be sending to people, especially random people?
Not on my Snapchat.
Not on your Snapchat, no. You never had any young girls hit you up?
I have, but I blocked them.
Okay, so why'd you block them but not
Morning, guys. We're at NI, a very cold morning. Doing a switchboard upgrade.
I was just trying to be her friend, and she wanted to take it a step further. She told me I wasn't going to get in trouble with her mom.
physical? Okay, so it's not only we're talking to
Oh, you're talking about the chick that blocked me.
yeah. So you see a pattern now, Hannah. On the case file, it was saying that thing wasn't consensual. It was saying that it was aggressive.
Oh yeah, I know.
So I would appreciate you to be honest with me because I know a lot of prosecutors fabricate, and I actually called up there to get a little bit more details because if it was a fabrication, then I think this would have been a prosecutors up in PA. They told me that this was one of the most clear just abuse of a child that they ever seen, and that it was grotesque, and that's why you were put on the registry list. But because this was your first violent offense like that, they only gave you 7, 10 years, 5 to 10. So why did you do what you did to Hannah?
I didn't do nothing. I promise, I swear to God now, I did not touch that girl.
So why would I just lie on you like that?
Because her mom and dad didn't like me.
So why did they find yours at the scene?
I don't know, but they didn't find mine. Because like my lawyer told me, if they would have found mine, they would have had to give me that part of my discovery package. They never gave me that part because he told me that they didn't find nothing.
So they didn't find anything, but they still said in the report and everything that there was DNA found at the scene. So what did I get? That would have automatically got your case dismissed.
Not necessarily not again.
In PA, if that happened and they withheld evidence,
The goal for farmers right now today is to become themselves. We know that not everyone renovates all the time. Today, this is what we do all the time. You've got a problem, fix it.
Is it truly possible to make one thing in spring? We're going to find out, and all everybody, this is Gary Gare. And with this challenge video, we will attempt to have what we can call an end. That's right. But in the spring, we're what we call the summer, with what we can call the spring. I'm never going to see fish. In this challenge, we're going to use an animation fancy. Those seeds are used for any sort of experts. We're going to be used to the mechanics of this game, as well as 1.6 updates to see if we can make over the goals. The work will start by making common chests in the work valley, as with the usual table tactics to get as many archers as possible. The winner going to be setting everything if we're going to make this strategy work. We're going to go down to the beach, we're going to get all the large vessel down here as well. Now we can't access money today, so we can't fish. So today we're primarily in tons and tons of foraging. Once we set everything to be able to pass our seeds, we're going to get us. We're going to purchase a total of more solids. We're going to eat this for energy. We're going to go to some sunflowers. We're going to pick up even more marshmallows. Now all these ones that we pick up will be used for energy. Because when we get back to the farm, we're going to cut down on most of the other trees. You also notice running to the center farm. We are in fact using the forest farm. Reason being, you get access to huge amount of hardwood every single day on this farm. We managed to get enough wood together to fix up the bridges in the type of area and wanted to access the zone frontier more than the boat to get sea urchin. Once we get that, we make a bait maker. The bait maker is going to be a bit decided in terms of if we can spring or not. So as soon as we get that, we don't get the sea urchin, we more than likely be able to challenge. That's all more. Kind of just get us today and sell 161 gold. Next day we're doing some fishing. If I didn't chain up huge amounts of perfect catches and would reset the day and try again, any day resets one done so that I can get back very early. We're now going to take into visit and any sort of achievements we come across. And when break goes over, we will all of a sudden get back materials because we're all going to make a problem most of the time. We also have a drive to starfish as well. So we're going to get into London and we are rewarded with 250 gold. It's a nice money boost to start, especially if you're joining the fiberglass rod in the early days because it costs 1,800 gold. Once we pick up the fiberglass rod, we actually manage more geodes for fishing.